grace to you. Once again, this is Greg coming to you from FaithsMessenger.com. The title of today's message is Beware of Spiritual Predators. Beware of spiritual predators. If you're a parent, one of the days that brings you the greatest sense of anguish is the first day of school. Particularly if your little one has never walked to school by himself. I remember our youngest on the first day of school, the week before, my wife was in a quandary about whether she should take off work and take him to school or let him walk to school on his own. And she went online and she checked all the websites to see if there were any sexual predators in our area, and fortunately there were none. But it was a very, very big deal to her, letting her kid walk to school for the first day. I remember myself in my younger days, when I was in elementary school, we lived 2 doors down from the school. 2 doors down. Now, talk about humiliation. My mom, she was a stay-at-home mom. A lot of moms today don't have that luxury, and we have a lot of what's called latchkey kids, which kids that go to school and they come home and no one's home and they fix their own food and they do their homework on their own until an adult comes home. But fortunately, I wasn't in that position. My mom was home all day, but living 2 doors down from the elementary school and walking to school, my mom stood out in the front lawn she watched us go from the house all the way to the school. And then when school was out, she stood out on the lawn and she watched us come from school all the way home. I don't know, well, it was a little overbearing to me then, but I understand now. She loves her kids. Most parents do, and they're going to do all they can to protect their kid. Now, you as a parent, can you imagine your anguish when after that first week of school goes by and you get over the jitters, the first day jitters of your kid walking to and from school? As the weeks go on, you hear your kid talking about Mr. Charles who lives between your home and the school, and your kid stops off to talk to Mr. Charles every day, and he has a lot of advice for the kids, and he gives the kids candy and whatnot. More than likely, you're going to be beside yourself because you don't know who this person is. You don't know what they're telling your kid. You don't want an adult that you don't know having any contact with your kid. You don't know what that person is telling your kid. You don't know what's going on at that person's house. That's the logical reaction from any parent, being protective of what the input into your child. But I think some of us can be considered hypocrites because we do exactly the same. We do what we tell our kids and what we warn our kids not to do. We listen to that still small voice in our ear that tells us that we're not good enough, or that tells us that we're the wrong skin color, or that tells us that we are not going to get our prayer answered because we're unworthy, or we're unrighteous, or we're an old sinner saved by grace, or any number of things that still small voice whispers in our ear. And we sink down to the level of those thoughts. Those thoughts aren't from God. Those thoughts are from Satan, the enemy, the evil one, whatever you want to call him. They're not of God. Not only do we listen to that still small voice, we go and we spread what that still small voice has told us among other brothers and sisters. We listen to the news, and there's a new strain of cancer going around, and it's transmitted by the so-and-so bug and all of this. And we hear it, we meditate on it, we share it, we say it, and we come down with it. And we wonder why we're not living a life that's conducive to that which God provided through us through Jesus Christ. So I don't see the big difference between allowing our kid to go and listen to what this foreign voice is telling him and what we do. We allow that foreign voice to whisper in our ear and place us in danger, and we concentrate too much, in my opinion, on voices that don't originate from God. And if you're listening to a voice that originates from God, the Bible calls that voice the father of lies, the devil. Now, if he's the father of lies, you can bet that whatever you're hearing from him is not going to be beneficial to you. So I want to encourage you to be careful how you hear. Be careful the people that you associate with. Be careful how much you consume the news. The news is not telling you anything positive. The news is not telling you anything godly. And if by chance a godly story does break through, it's very few and far between. So I would encourage you to monitor the negative. Monitor that still small voice. And when you do hear the father of lies speaking to you, know that he's got nothing productive to share with you. Nothing productive can come from that which you are hearing. So I want to leave you with that today, and I'd like to encourage you that if you haven't done so already, you're welcome to join us in our YouTube community by clicking on the red subscribe button on your screen. By doing so, you'll receive notifications when new videos such as this one are posted. I'd also like to invite you to join us in our blog community at FaithsMessenger.com. Now we currently have over 550 individual blog posts on the blog which address a myriad of different topics. Now these are real life, relevant, everyday topics that each and every one of us can relate to. So once again, that address is FaithsMessenger.com. Now with all that's been said today, I'd like to leave you with a question. Now this question can be posed to anything you may be going through today in life. I'd like for you to ask yourself, is anything impossible with God? Have a great day, family. I love you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.